Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is the first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So here we go. Here we go. I'm doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath. You're probably needing messages from your soul. So, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard, it's just a very strong sense I get in my chest, considering how to approach. I'm not sure what's being approached. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if it's you considering how to approach something, or if it's you considering, or maybe someone is considering how to approach you. I don't know. I don't know. It's a very intense sensation that I start to feel in the chest area. It's definitely something that I would assume most Pisceans and most empaths have felt at some point. That intensity, and you don't quite know why it feels so intense, but it just feels so intense. Let me get cards ready. Oh, let me get cards ready. See what this is about. Sorry. Stuck my hand heater in there a bit. Hold on. Okay. Ooh, oh my God. You guys, this is about to be really intense. Just intense. Okay. Like, let me hold up. Okay. Here goes. There's about to be like a huge shift. This shift is let me just grab a stack. I don't want to, yeah, I'm getting freaked out. I'm getting freaked out. I'm getting freaked out. Immediately, like right off the bat, it's this sense that something's going to have to be fought for. Something has to be fought for. And it's definitely something. It's definitely something that's going to allow you to experience the type of like things that you need to experience, but it's going to be very, very challenging. Like with the way just the cards that I saw right side up came out. Shit. All right, how much information do you guys want? How much info do you want? And is this something where like how much info do you want? Obviously, this is it's got me stuttering already. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I'm still shuffling. It's got me stuttering. Okay, there's a lot of cards here. Let me just set that down so I have space. Okay, like this can't be concealed any further. All of that fell out. Let's just do all that. All right. Okay. So, okay. Let me stutter away. All right. Okay. So, what was once upside down is being turned right side up. It's this thing of there's this thing I came across on TikTok recently, right? It's called The Feminine Urge. And it's just this song, and it's kind of like not being apologetic for, really just taking ownership of your life, taking ownership of your decisions. Someone is witnessing you like really come to life. You know what I mean? Like the way they see you is becoming so different. Maybe once upon a time they saw you as someone who was just like ridiculously sweet, ridiculously cute, all of that. Like, oh, you're so sweet, you're so cute, you're so helpless, you're so clueless, you're so gullible, you have so much loyalty to people who you shouldn't be loyal to. Um, just this constant thing of like putting you in the position of damsel in distress, like that's the role you were playing for whoever this is, or that's how they saw you. And over time, as you began to really let them see who you are, what you're about, how powerful you are, how headstrong, I think they like that. I think they like how spicy you are. I'm not even like, have you guys ever? Okay, so some people think like Tabasco is spicy. That's just a flavor. That's not spice. That's flavor. Now, recently we were having dinner, and I asked my brother, like, he wanted drunken noodles, and I asked him, how spicy do you want it? He's like, spicy. And I was like, okay, like Thai spicy? He's like, yeah, Thai spicy. And I was like, okay. He doesn't like people questioning his food choices. And so I'm just like, okay, Thai spicy it is. And so that's what I ordered for him. Well, he was already exhausted. So he was up in his bedroom when the food arrived. I asked my kids to go give him his food. He comes back down maybe like 15 minutes later. He looks like he's in distress. He looks like he's in distress, okay? And he's walking into the kitchen going like this. I'm like, you okay? What's wrong with your chest? Hey, I don't know what the fuck you got me, but I don't want to offend you by not eating it. I was like, what happened? He goes, what kind of fucking spice is that? I was like, I asked you how spicy. You said spicy. And then I asked you Thai spicy, and you said, yerp. Okay. So it became Thai spicy. When I say you're spicy, it's almost like someone witnessed you going atomic spice, like Thai spice, Indian spice, ghost pepper spice. And they like it. They like it a lot because it's like you're not just heat, you have so much flavor. And Michael's laughing. He goes, why do you make everything about food? Because food is love. Fuck out of here. Food is love. What? If you don't want me to make everything about food, why you have me born into a culture that's centered around food? I'm just saying. Okay? You and your nuclear spice. was just what they wanted. You was just spicy. Today's a spicy day. Look at my hair. It's crazy. That's how spicy today is. I don't even have anything in my hair. It's just crazy. Yeah, I'm saying it. So they like your crazy. I know my husband likes mine. So it's not like, I guess what might have happened is they were exposed to like a abusive type of spice. That's just like, that's caca spice. That's manufactured spice. I'm just, well, it's not real spice. That's like, you think it's spicy because you've never had Thai food. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know, if the things you've had to compare to are unseasoned, then you don't know what seasoning really is like. Oh my God, I saw this video. This girl, like, she's messing with her mom. She's messing with her mom, right? And her mom doesn't know. She got to the kitchen before her mom did, and she took all of the salt out of the salt shaker and she replaced it with some slap yo mama. Already I was like, oh Lord, that's good stuff. And so her mom starts making an omelet and she's secretly recording her mom. And she makes an omelet. She takes one bite. Mom starts kind of dancing around, eating the food, and then she goes and puts more salt. She was totally feeling it. Well, because now she's being exposed to seasons, right? Seasonings. This is someone who's never had seasoning before. They might have like thought they had something seasoned. I don't know why I find this hilarious. They thought they've had seasoning before, but they haven't. They haven't. So now they've witnessed your seasoning, and you can't go back to just salt and pepper after you've had slap yo mama. I'm just saying, if you've never had slap your mama, uh you're gonna need to find that in the grocery store. It's not some specialty seasoning. It's like, seasoned salt. You go anywhere, they have that at Walmart. They have it anywhere. It's like a shorter, it's not super short, but it's like a shorter bottle. It's about this tall, unless you get the industrial size. And it's yellow. The bottle is yellow. And it's called Slap Yo Mama. You gotta try it. You need some seasoning in your life, is what it is. Okay. You just need a lot more flavor. Or no, they need a lot more flavor and they like your flavor. Okay. But it does have salt. So, if you have a salt restricted diet, if you already have enough attitude, you might want to use it sparingly. Concealment, they can't hide it. They can't hide how they feel. They can't hide what's going on anymore. So you're like goddess level for them. Hmm. You're goddess level for them. Am I goddess level for you? Oh, daddy. Slap your mama. No, I didn't lick it. So, thank you. That's slap your mama. Anyways, I can't hide it anymore. whatever whatever they tried to hide before, that was before. That was before. I'm assuming this is someone. I'm assuming this is someone that knows you from the past. Mm. It's the sense that there was a game that was played, and it's almost like a denial of the effect that you have. So this is what I noticed. Okay. Sometimes when you are a Piscean or an empath that is just like really in your energy, in your own space, that's a very intoxicating energy for people to be in. Okay. Excuse me. First and foremost, an empowered empath, a balanced Piscean is an extremely intoxicating energy to be around. Once you experience that, like everything else kind of just pales in comparison. You don't really forget any of that, you know? And so I'm assuming that's what happened, that whoever this is to you, they experienced you finally being like in your power, and it shifted something in them, you know? And maybe that shifting within them scared them a little bit or a little bit. And they just didn't know how to receive it. Maybe that's the very first time they've been affected by someone in that way. And so they tried to play this role, you know? They tried to make it as though like, oh, they don't need you. You need them more than they need you. And you're going to see, you're going to, all of this stupid game stuff. And I guess you didn't play along. You didn't play along, and you called them on their bluff, and now they regret it. They regret it. Good. They should. They should. Word to the wise. When you come across a Piscean or empath who's not willing to play along, but also is not willing to completely destroy you, knowing that they can, you just lost. You lost something major. And if you're going to continue to try and play this role and bluff, you're playing yourself. Okay? And this doesn't just apply to balanced Pisceans. This applies to empaths across the board. These are people, I mean, empathy is not a superpower. First and foremost, empathy is not a superpower. It comes from trauma. The more sensitive the empath, the more they most likely experienced trauma earlier in life, the more difficult it was early in life. They don't want any of your bullshit. They don't. We don't. Once we exit out of those cycles of toxicity and you try and pull us back in, I mean, really, just walk away. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Playing this game of like overly confident. So, okay. Don't get me twisted. I love cockiness. I love it. I love it. But it has to be cockiness because you actually have big C energy. You know what I'm saying? You can't just pretend, because then you look stupid. For real. I'm being so blunt and so raw right now. Like, for the most part, I get curious when someone is super cocky, like, why are you so cocky? Like, what is this? You really have something that you think is just of the utmost value. Let me observe what's going on. Part of the reason my husband got the time of day from me, and not because I think I'm the shit, but because if I'm working, I'm not trying to be picked up by people. Okay. If I'm working, and I find it disrespectful if you're trying to approach me in an unprofessional capacity. That's just how I've always been. And this guy, he was with a large group of people, and he shoved one of the girls that was with his group into the store, told her to ask me for my phone number. And I was like, no. I don't know if he's crazy. He has to come back in here and get it himself. He wants the number. He needs to come in here like a man and ask himself. And I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was going to be it because usually that's considered being a bitch and they don't come back into the store, right? Because I'm not playing with you. Don't bother me while I'm working. And what happened? Like literally a few minutes later, this mofo came in the store. He came in the store and he was smiling really big. He was smiling like, okay, challenge accepted. Ew. Why are you here? Why are you so cocky? What is this? Why are you not intimidated? Because he wasn't. But he really do have that energy. So there you go. If you don't have what it takes to back up what you are projecting, you're playing yourself. Don't bother with this game of like trying to front like you're this and you're that when you know damn well you're not. Don't approach Pisceans and empaths like you have something to contribute to the freaking potluck. Because, honey, napkins is not a contribution. There's already napkins on the table. You know what I'm saying? You can't come to a potluck and be like, no, but these are like top-notch napkins. They're not reusable. You throw them away when you're done. So what's so top-notch? There's napkins already on the table. No, when someone is trying to offer you something that you already can do on your own, and they're just trying to dress it up. They're trying to dress it up. They're trying to sell you something. Honey, empaths, you know when people lie to you. Start acting like it. Start responding like it. When someone's lying to me, when someone's trying to play a game with me, I usually won't say anything. People think I'm like confrontational in real life. I'm not. I'm just not. It takes a lot for me to become confrontational in real life. Like a lot. I'm usually much more like, okay. I'm just gonna walk away. I gotta go. Sorry. And I'll walk away. When I know you're lying to me, I'm gonna let you lie. I'm gonna let you lie. But I'm also not gonna even respect you at that bare minimum. See, people that I respect, I will actually communicate with you. We will have a discussion. I will ask you, not accuse you. I will ask you, hey, what did you mean by that? But when you lie, when you bluff, you want to play a game of poker, baby. Pop, 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 poker face, pop, pop, poker face. Pop, 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 poker face, pop, pop, poker face. Can't read my, no, you can't read my poker face. In real life, most people see me as a confused person. In real life, people who've never watched me talking on my channel, they think I'm confused. They think I don't know shit. That's okay. It's okay for me if that's how you see me, because that tells me how you are, not me. When people can look at you without getting to know you, put you in boxes and put labels and, no, that you just told me everything I needed to know about you. What did you tell me? That I don't want to get to know you. Oh, but you can't be like that. Yeah, I can. Keep talking. I'm not listening. Keep talking. I'm not listening. I don't need to. If they can't give you what they're demanding from you, why are you entertaining that? Is there a reason? Is there a reason why you need to listen to someone who refuses to actually hear you? No, there's no reason. There's no reason at all. You'll come across a lot of people who will try and convince you of this or that or this or that. I'm sorry, I don't live in a rap song. You can get with this or you can get with that. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm not down for that. What I need in my life is something that you can offer, which is authenticity. You guys need to begin discerning between manufactured authenticity, thanks to social media. That's what's going on now, and genuine authenticity. When all the person does is use quotes, I don't think that's authentic. I don't think that's evolved. I think you have a very cultivated taste in what you use to distract yourself, entertain yourself. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a very refined taste. I do have an appreciation for that. But that doesn't tell me anything about the way you think, the gravity of your thoughts at all. At all. I once had an exchange with someone on social media where they have a considerable following, and their posts have a fairly wide reach, and it's nice to see. It's very nice to see. Um, their interactions have a couple hundred interactions for every post. Sometimes reaches a couple hundred shares for that post, hundreds of comments. Um, and then one day this person messaged me privately. And until that conversation, um, sometimes I would find myself commenting on their post. I have such an appreciation for the profound things that you post. Thank you for posting. It's very satisfying to see that on my newsfeed. And then one day they privately messaged, and then that changed everything. It changed everything because then I realized, oh, you just have a really robust Pinterest collection. Your thoughts are not robust. There's no complexity to the simplicity of your addiction to esoterica. It's just an addiction. You're addicted to the aesthetics, to manufactured aesthetic. Gotcha. And then I just never shared or commented on their posts again. Once I see you for what you are and it's not what you present, I have a tendency to kind of just slowly back away. I'm not going to I don't need to call anyone out on that. If that's your social media presence and that's how you choose to present yourself. And if people, are enjoying it, then good. I enjoyed it at one point, but when I realized the reality of you versus the presentation of your brand, because that's now a brand, yeah, it's misaligned for me. So I'm not going to buy into it now. Same thing happened when I really took the time to watch more of Jason Silva's videos. He's a beautiful performer. The way he articulates, the communication, the delivery, amazing. There's nothing you can say about that. He's an amazing narrator. Like the texture, quality of his voice, the manner in which he enunciates. It's just, oh yes, top notch. Hell yeah, you earned that. You earned that pay, honey. Hell yeah. But he actually, from everything that I've seen, I've never seen him share his own personal thoughts. So the gravity that I affixed upon him really had nothing to do with him. He was narrating other people's thoughts and work. Okay. Uh, mm-hmm. I liked listening to the content from one channel until I saw that person was taking things from others without crediting them properly. That's an insecurity. Not of yours, but the other person. That's what I call manufactured authenticity. They take things that sound good, you know? They take things that sound good, and because they believe that they're producing something profound, it doesn't mean they're producing something profound. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't mean that. With organic portals, um, what we have to recognize is that they have this need to have an association with someone who appears profound in their eyes. And it's not just with spiritual things, it can be in any industry, right? So it can be with entertainment, it can be with finances, it can be with politics, whatever it is. Organic portals need to be surrounded by those who are front runners of that industry, their chosen industry, so that they can more easily and more efficiently mimic the top notch. But here's the thing, they will only ever regurgitate what others are saying. They don't have the capacity to say and do on their own. They have to regurgitate what someone else is saying or doing. And that's one of the telltale signs you're dealing with an organic portal, but it takes time. It takes time. You have to allow them to show you enough so that you can have this opportunity to begin cross-referencing. And then they'll say, like, oh no, I was inspired. No, you were trying to steal the content of someone else. You are stealing someone else's work. When you're inspired by someone, you give them the credit. That's how you show gratitude for that inspiration they created. Right? How do you show gratitude when someone inspires you? You give them credit. You let people know, like, oh my gosh, there was this beautiful thing. And like, oh, it's from blah, blah, blah. Like, I've shared with you guys my most favoriteest poem ever. And when I say that poem, do I not say who the author is, who the poet is? No, I'm inspired by the ways in which he created this piece of art, written and spoken art, that the only way to show my gratitude is not just to share the art, but to give the credit to the artist. So many mimics, organic portals, Trojans in this world. Are you going to let them affect the trajectory of your path? Sometimes they're brought to you to pull you backwards, right? And that backwards momentum is really the loading of a charge for the arrow to be launched forward. That's what it is, because you'd be like, why are some people like this? Why do they want to pull you down, pull you back, hold you back from your progress? They're serving a purpose. Don't get me wrong, though. They're still dickish. That's a jerk move. For real. For real. They're choosing to be dickish. What does that mean? That means we're not going to excuse away the fact that they had malicious intent, that they were full of jealousy, but we're not going to stop there with just holding them accountable for choosing to be dickish. We're going to take it a step further and recognize, regardless of your personal intent, my soul just used you. My soul used you to create a situation that I could choose to grow from. Boom. There you go. Truth. That's how I see every situation in my life. I didn't use you. My soul brought you to me, and I allowed you to be who you are. Dickish. Now I'm going to use that dickish experience to grow myself. Thank you. You've served your purpose in my life. You can now leave. I don't need any more of that. And when you learn something, you don't continue to repeat it. It might come back around, but you won't have the same reaction or response to it. That's how you know you've grown. That's how you know you've gotten through that lesson, that you've completed the course content to the degree that your soul needed you to complete it. We have to begin giving ourselves permission to go through these processes the way we're meant to. You don't have to be afraid of anyone. If you don't like the person that's bringing the lesson to you, okay, that's okay. That's absolutely understandable. Just know if you avoid this lesson, it will come back around, maybe with a different person, and maybe then you'll be willing and ready to learn. Or if you don't want that, then just finish off what you're learning with this person. Like some people are quick to exit relationships and stuff. And I tell them, like, I can't tell you to leave, first off, because that's your relationship and who the heck am I? Secondly, if you're not done with this toxicity, you will bring this toxicity into the next relationship. See, as much as you want to say that the narcissist is the problem, which they're a major problem, the ways in which you empower the narcissistic behavior in your life is also a major problem. And if you don't address that, you're going to continue to do it in other relationships. And there's a potentiality that people who are not even narcissistic will begin to exhibit narcissistic type behaviors because that's what you've encouraged in them. Not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying you need to begin recognizing if that's the thing you're doing. Because if you recognize that, then you can begin choosing differently. That's true power. When you recognize the things you decide have been the very things that have been opening the door for you to let really toxic things in, then you can begin choosing differently. You can begin consciously changing your life, consciously cultivating your environment. Well, there was something, I got to share it with you guys. La 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 la. Bow to your partner. A memory popped up. Someone commented on one of my posts. I gotta reshare this. I don't know what I posted, but it's a screenshot of their comment and my response. They said the person that can't think for themselves. I don't even know you. And so I said, I think you can suck my etheric dick. Welcome to the Black Club. People are so stupid sometimes. Like, we matching energies. What? Y'all, people think, oh, she's spiritual. She can't say nothing. She's spiritual. If you say so. I'm spiritual, so you can be like that towards me with zero provocation. Me minding my own damn business. Let me find that post. Where are you, Alicia? Here we go. I love this girl. She is so effing adorbs. Adorbs. Okay. Where is it? Whew. She's hilarious. She posts hilarious things. Here it is. This one wasn't hilarious. Okay. My biggest flex is that I put people on and level them up. If I know how to do something, I'll tell you, show you, and walk you through it. I'm really a, quote, there's room for all of us type of woman. And that's why my biggest flex is also the reason I stay blessed. So I had to comment. It's also the biggest entry point for people who came to take advantage of me. All good though. We learning, we're learning, right? It's a flex, but here's the thing. If you don't understand the limitations of that muscle you're flexing, you stand the chance of tearing that muscle, pulling that muscle, all sorts of different things. Okay? All sorts of different things. So you can be like that, but you have to know how to operate within the confines of being an overgiver. Too many times, I've done that without being asked to, simply because I really, really want everyone to succeed. It's not a line. I literally want everyone to succeed. It brings me great joy when I see you winning in life. Okay. Whether it has anything to do with me or not, like I can genuinely appreciate that and celebrate that. Like, oh my God, good things are happening for you. It's time. It's good. It's good. You deserve it. You earned it. You worked hard for it. And not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can celebrate someone else's success. And I'm learning that just because I can celebrate your success and make room for you beside me on whatever stage does not mean now you are forever barred from shoving me off that stage, duct taping me to the freaking floor and pretending like you didn't do anything. No more of that. No more of that. So, how did it shift? How did my approach to that shift? It's not that I didn't help people anymore. I still do. It's that I realized when I focus just on one person, this is always the same damn lesson that I learned. When my help is focused on strictly one person, it becomes extremely distorted. It just does. Their view becomes very, very distorted. Their view of me, of what I can provide, of, all of that. It becomes very, very distorted. It becomes a sense of entitlement, and it becomes very, very ugly, very, very fast. So now I realize that's not what we do. It's not one person at a time. It's allowing myself to be visible in a more deeply vulnerable way and inviting you to join me with no fear so that you can begin doing for yourself what I would have done with you in private, just me and you. I found that that's so much more powerful. It's not that you have to stop helping people, because really, honestly, I don't think I ever can. Asking me to stop caring and helping and giving is asking me to no longer be who I am. That's who I am. I went through a phase where I thought I could be like, I don't give a fuck. No, honey, I give so many fucks. It's ridiculous. I just do. I do. I give so many fucks. It's ridiculous. And that's okay. I just need to be more selective of who I hand my fucks out to. I just have to be more selective. That's it. I have to allow my heart to guide me through that. Where it's like, my heart won't let me walk away from someone that I still need to help. Like if I need to help you and I'm rationalizing, like, I don't know that you really need help and this and that. It doesn't matter what my rationale is. I'm not leaving until I help you. Trusting myself to be able to feel the difference in guidance. That's what we need to do. Not just leave the door open for people to continue these cycles that we've participated in for far too long. Just far too long, these cycles have gone on. And then we wonder why we keep going through those cycles. It's because of what we choose. So, security. Your internal home is secure. Okay? It's buttoned up real tight. It's secure. Unless you open the door to let something else in, there's nothing that's going to get in. Once you open the door and you recognize, oh no, I should not have let this in, it's okay to slam the door shut and lock it. I just had to do that. I just had to do that not too long ago. This recognition of I let something in that I should not have let in. Slam the door shut and lock it. One time years ago, I was pregnant. I'm very delicate when I'm pregnant, like very delicate. I'm supposed to be on bed rest from like week 2 or 3 because I find out early that I'm pregnant. And you can't upset me because then that also has very real effects on me and my health. I'm pretty sure I'm alien. I'm alien. I'm not very compatible with human genetics. So, it's just a struggle. And I was pregnant and someone knocked on the door and I looked through the peeping hole and they were 2 really old, really small Filipino women. And I was like, oh, they're Lolas, they're Lolas. You don't not answer the door for a Lola. And so I opened the door and then they start talking to me about the watchtower. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I have to go lay back down. I have to go lay back down. No, thank you. And I went to go close the door. Like, I wasn't slamming it. They're Lolas. You don't, like, in my culture, you don't be disrespectful to a Lola. Okay. And I started closing the door. This crazy ass woman started pushing the door open. Like, she put her shoulder into it. Are you kidding me right now? And so it became this like minute or 2 long fight at my door where she was pushing as hard as she could. And I was using all my weight to try and get the door completely shut. That's insanity. And as soon as I was able to get the door completely shut and I deadbolted it, she shoved her damn booklets under my door. I'm just like, hell no. And ever since then, that was years ago. Ever since then, I've had no problem just slamming the door shut. I'm not going to explain nothing. The moment I determine like this is BS for me and my life, I'm slamming the door shut. That's it. I learned real well. Thank you, Lolas. I learned real freaking well. You come to my door and you're clearly soliciting something. I'm not even going to bother opening the door. If you can manage to trick me into opening the door, I'm not going to be nice. What? What do you want? Why are you here? And then when you start talking and it sounds like it's something, so slamming the door shut and I'm locking it. That's that. I'm slamming the door shut and I'm locking it. This is the very reason, that Lola is the very reason I will not live in a house with hollow core doors. People think that I'm just being bougie. No, that shit has to be solid wood. I'm not doing no hollow core doors. Nope. No pre-manufactured. I don't care if no. You can tack on however many extra hundreds of dollars onto the rent. I don't care. It has to be solid wood doors. Solid wood. Because I don't play that shit anymore. Mm-mm. And I apply that to my social interactions online as well. I've learned to trust my intuition very, very deeply. I feel weird about you. You're messaging and messaging, messaging, and all you do is ask questions about me. You never share anything about yourself. Mm-hmm. You know that's one of the things that narcissists do, right? They make it all about you and they ask so many questions and so many questions. And if you're so starved for attention and connectivity, you'll begin to think, oh my gosh, they're so interested in me. No one's ever taken the time to ask me things. I tell you, they're not asking you about your day and what you like and what you don't like and your history because they want to know more about you because they like you. They're gathering intel. It's a reconnaissance mission. They're looking for any vulnerabilities that can be exploited. That's what they're doing. Every narcissist that I've come across does that. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the type of childhood I had, where now I'm very uncomfortable when people ask me questions. I'm very hesitant to share anything about myself, especially one-on-one, in private, in real life. Like, if I meet you in real life, most likely you will not know what I do for work at all. Unless you meet my husband, then he's going to tell you everything. Tell you the channel when I go live. Like, motherfucker, stop telling people this shit. Why do you tell people this at a gas station? Yep. Nope. I don't tell anyone anything. Yeah. I don't. Why? Because I've dealt with enough narcissists. If you're going to make an attempt to harm me, I'm not going to make it easy for you. I'm going to make it real hard. You're going to earn that. You're going to have to work real hard to do that. No more making it easy for people who want to hurt or harm you. Don't make it easy for them. Don't give them information that they need in order to understand where to cut you. That's the most potent type of trauma response I've learned. I'm not going to make it easy for you. I'm not going to expose the parts that would make it easy for you. And yeah, I'm going to let you think that you know everything about me. Well, I mean, then what haven't you shared? Because you share a lot online. What haven't I shared? That's for me to know, huh? If you don't know what I haven't shared, how do you know how much you know me? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It becomes very difficult for people to try and hurt and harm me when they really don't know much about me. Many, many years ago, I made the decision before I became publicly visible. I'm not going to be sharing pictures of my children or anything like that. I'm good. And why was that a good thing? Because about 2 years later, I had a client who was pissed off that I wouldn't teach him how to do things energetically because I felt like he was a fucktard. I felt like he was a fucktard and very, very ego-based and would hurt people. Like, intentionally. I'm just laying it out there right now. I'm laying it out there right now. That's why I wouldn't. That's what pissed him off. I didn't say I think you're a fucktard. I was just like, I'm really not comfortable teaching you this stuff. And so they had a big ass tantrum. Big ass tantrum. A very public outburst type tantrum. They defrauded me of nearly $2,000. And then they used that $2,000 to pay someone to curse my family. Only problem is no pictures of my family. Even with pictures, trust me. If you want to see me fuck shit up, I will. Nothing's getting through. Not only will it go back to you, I'm going to enjoy watching it. And then that's what happened. I didn't have to do shit. People don't understand. If I'm this heavily protected, anything that comes from my flesh will also be protected. Come on now. That's my flesh walking outside of my body. You think they would be left susceptible? That's just idiotic. Could not find any entry to exploit. No entry at all. None. And why is that? Because I left no entry open. No, I don't care if you're trying to intimidate. I don't care if this or that or any of that. I really don't care. What I learned is this: people who will be angry with you for walking away because they're trying to cross boundaries, they were going to talk shit about you whether you agreed or not. No matter how much you try to appease these type of people, once you run out of the steam, the energy to continue, they're going to do this to you. They're going to do this to you. They're going to. Use the energy you would have used to appease them to instead shore up all your windows and doors. Don't let any of that in. Don't let any of that in. They can't contain it. They can't contain it. Going back to the other things. So, security and containment, right? Concealment. They cannot hide what they can no longer contain. For some, it has to do with like totally being in love with you. For others, it has to do with totally being hateful towards you because they secretly really, really want you. Either they want to be you, they want to be around you, they want to benefit from you, whatever it is, you're not the victim. Stop believing that crap. Start acting like how powerful you actually are. And just because you don't understand how powerful you are does not mean you get a pass for acting as though you're weak. Are you weak? Do you think you're weak? Do you think you're weak because someone told you you're weak? Do you think you're weak because you cry? I don't know about you, but as a Piscean, as an empath, um, if I cry, it's usually because I want to do something bad to you. And I know I'm not allowed to. So I get so mad and frustrated, and I just got to release some of that as tears. That's why I cry. Not because you actually hurt my feelings. Sorry. I know you thought you hurt my feelings and you felt powerful and stuff. No, that's why I'm crying, is because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at the fact that I want to retaliate, but I know I shouldn't. And so that frustration spills over as tears. How many of you are like that? How many of you cry because you're so frustrated, you're so pissed off, and you're trying to calm yourself down? And then here people are like, oh my God, you're crying again? Trust me, you don't want the alternative. You don't want the alternative to me crying. The alternative to me crying is you crying. Pick wisely. That's the reality of my life. The alternative to me crying when I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, is making you cry. I don't want to be that person. I don't. I don't want to be like that. So let me just cry my frustration out really quick. And then it's okay. You know, it'll be okay. I'll figure out um I'll figure out how to move forward from that. You know what I'm saying? Um Upside down intention. So I feel like this reading has two people. Pisces and empaths, we tend to always have two two people, one for each fish. Okay. One person is totally like fixated on you because they're in love with you. They can't get over you. Like, you know, yada, yada. And then the other person is just obsessed. You belong to them. Like, no, demon, sit the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? So we always have those two types of people just floating around somewhere. Floating around somewhere. And one person has a very upside down intention. This is someone who they don't respect your boundaries. I would remove that comment. I would remove that type of comment from a publicly visible live stream. There's no context behind it, and that could be very incriminating for you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you forgot to put LOL smiley face. Smiley face. Smiley face. I would remove that comment though. Shadow. The other person is working on their shadow aspects. They're still within the realm of insecurity for themselves. You know, it doesn't mean they're weak just because they're insecure. They don't know how to approach this. They don't know how to approach you. They're watching though. They're watching you and trying to get some sort of indicator of how you might receive their communication, how you might receive their presence. I'm suddenly so cold. If being nice creates a war within you, don't be nice. If being nice creates a war within you, don't be. Your peace is more valuable than external fake peace. Moonrock, don't be nice. Whatever it is that you're stopping yourself from doing, I think I know what it is too. Don't be nice. Do it. Cleansing. Allowing yourself to be cleansed of whatever hesitation you have. If you live a life of hesitation, how has that progressed? If you hesitate for this and that and that and this and this and that and that and this, nothing but hesitations, waiting, watching, waiting, waiting for the perfect time, watching to make sure that it's the perfect time, but it's not the perfect time, but when will be the perfect time? So waiting, watching, hesitating. That hasn't done anything for you. It just hasn't. So then maybe it's time to do something else. Maybe it's time to choose an action and write it out until the end result is observed. Maybe, like sometimes my husband gets irritated that I'm irritated. He's like, you're always rushing me. Because he'll do that. He'll be like, well, what if, just pick something. I'm serious. I go like that. It frustrates me immediately. Like, okay, something needs to be shipped out, right? This is too big of a box, and get a smaller box. But if I just pick something, fill the box or get a smaller box. We're not going to sit here and talk about how the box size is not the appropriate size. You're either going to pad the box more, or you're going to get a smaller box, or you're going to cut that box into a smaller size. But we're not going to discuss what's already a given. The box is the wrong size. Okay? Okay. Yeah. And then he tells me, You're always rushing me. Yeah, I am. Because I don't have the patience for that. I don't want to just keep talking about what's wrong. I talk about what's wrong for as long as it takes for me to find a solution. Yeah. Because once I assess what's actually wrong, then I can begin considering different options for different solutions that I can try and implement. If the first solution didn't work, I'm trying a different solution. If the second one didn't work, I'm trying another one and another one and another one and another one until I get so frustrated and I have to stop because I'm now crying, or it works. And if I have to stop because now I'm crying, as soon as I'm done crying because I'm frustrated, I'm going back at it again, and I'm not going to stop until it's actually done. And that's just that. That's just that. When you have that type of mindset in your life, what's going to stop you? What's going to stop you? If you can approach your life and your struggles in that way, what can stop you? Nothing really. Because every time something tries to stop you, you just change direction. And that's that. So what about when you're trying? Because I know a lot of people experience this. What about when you're trying and there's people in your life who are telling you, no, you can't do it like that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. But they're not telling you how to do it. What's your response? What's the appropriate way to respond to something like that? For me, the only response I have, shut up and watch me. Just shush and let me do what I do so that you can see how I'm going to do it. How are you going to do that? You can't do that. How are you? No, just hush and watch me because I'm doing it right now. I had someone who was a friend, and they're still a friend. I was telling them like I was going to go skydiving. They're like, but don't you have a fear of heights? Yeah. How are you going to get in a plane and jump out? Watch me. I'm going to record it. You're not going to do it. You're not. There's no way. There's no way you're going to do that. Watch me. It's literally recorded. It's on my YouTube channel. How am I going to do that? Watch it. The video's there. Stop letting people mess up your approach. And just don't, don't let people mess up your approach. The way you are choosing to view a situation is the way you are approaching that situation. Don't let them mess up your approach. Now, if you're asking someone for their opinion, that's one thing. But if someone consistently tries to, like, why you always got something to say? Sometimes I say that to people. Why you always got something to say like you got life figured out, but your life's a fucking mess? Maybe your life wouldn't be so messy if you weren't all up in my business, wasting your time on my life. And instead, we're spending more time on fixing what's fucked up in your life. I mean, sometimes I got to be just mean to people. And what I mean by mean is truthful in a very blunt way. See, people don't like that. But if the way I've approached you with, delicate cashmere children's gloves, I have to wear gloves made of Angora because you're sensitive. And I'm trying to tell you nicely. And then you choose to gaslight me into believing like I'm being mean. Let me just be fucking mean then. Let me just be truthful and say what I wanted to say. And I didn't say it because I was trying to be nice so that you won't tell me that I'm being mean. Okay, let me change my approach. This. Let me bullet point it. There you go. Now leave me alone. And I mean, that's not the most mature way when it comes to society's expectations of social interactions, but it's efficient as fuck. It's efficient. It's really, really efficient. And I'm kind of at a point where uh, I can't miss. It's a can't miss opportunity. Um, there's an opportunity being presented. They don't want to miss out on the opportunity. So I think that applies to both the toxic individual and the one that just doesn't know how to approach you. The non toxic, maybe, well, no, that would be, I don't like that word. Undecided. They're not confused, they're undecided. So there's a toxic one and an undecided one, right? Someone who is undecided in the way they're going to approach you. They can't miss this opportunity, is the sense. Opportunity for what, though? I think the toxic one believes they have an opportunity maybe to bankroll off of you. Because the email was for investment opportunities. Oh, damn. That's a message. That's a message in itself. So for the toxic person, they don't want to miss the opportunity to invest in a winner, a guaranteed win. They're not investing in you. They're investing in the benefit they'll receive being associated with you. I just like people like that. I just like people like that. I don't like that type of behavior where you think that it's a appropriate thing to force someone else to carry your weight. No, I don't like that, like at all. And that comes from someone who you don't have to ask me to carry your weight. If I see you trying so hard and you're struggling, I'm going to pick you up and carry you. You don't even have to ask me. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to carry you. I'm going to be like, hey, take a break. Take a break. You're tired. I'll carry you. Don't worry. No, I got it. Don't worry. Just don't worry. I'm not going to carry you forever. So don't worry. Don't worry. Just enough for you to kind of rest. Okay. You've done enough. You're tired. That comes from someone who's like that, where you want me to carry you? What? No. Investing in themselves via you. Yep. Organic portal behavior. Because reading that, Ocean Lover, it reminds me of your comment earlier in the live stream where you said you had enjoyed this person's content. And, you enjoyed it until you realized they were taking content from other creators. Yeah. Investing in themselves via you. Mimicry. Some people are like, mimicry is the highest form of flattery. I'm not here to be flattered. I'm here expecting, demanding mutual respect, reciprocity. If I would never steal from you, you are never allowed to steal from me. You see how that works there? Well, but Emmy, what if people need something? They can effing ask me. They can ask me. Ask me. You need something? Ask me. Don't just try and take it from me. Ask me. allowing people to invest in themselves via taking from you, that never ends up well. It just doesn't. It doesn't. You have to approach that in a very matter of fact way, and you have to nip that in the bud immediately. And you might be like, well, why can't I just quietly disappear? Because every time I've tried that, where I'm just going to go quiet and not say anything, not complain, and have this mindset of, well, eventually they're going to stop and things are just going to quiet down. And then I'm just going to go on with my life. You know what's happened? Because I'm no longer allowing access to my energy, the flow no longer goes to them. I'm not even doing anything. I'm just holding my energy now. And you know what happens? They then blame me for sabotaging their business, their project. No, I didn't sabotage anything. You were writing off my energy. My spiritual abundance is mine. Just because I shared it with you for a little while does not suddenly make it yours. It's the equivalent of having someone come visit you and they end up visiting you for a couple weeks instead of a couple days. And because they've been there for a couple weeks, now they live there. That's their house too. They're co-owners, but they don't pay for anything. Tell me how that's okay. Help me to understand how that's appropriate, how that's fair. How are you being a mean person by not agreeing to that? Please explain that to me. You bought the house with your money using your credit and your down payment. You pay that monthly. You pay everything, all the utilities, all the taxes, everything. You own all of the furnishings. But now it's theirs because they've been there. What? What? And this realization is coming from me, a person who, I do this all the time. It irritates my husband when I do this. If I wait too long to eat, I become very sick, right? I have to eat when I get hungry, or else I go through hypoglycemia and all kind of like really crazy shit. So he can be making me food because I'm entering into a state of hypoglycemia. I'm going to start feeling like I'm going to pass out. And then someone will come into the kitchen or the dining room and they'll be like, oh, what's that? Oh, you want some? Oh, what is it? It's really good. Here, let me have it with you. And he's like, why do you do that? You're hungry. God, there's enough to share. It's no big deal. But it kind of is. Because if I can give so freely like that, and now I'm like, this is mine. That should tell you how inappropriate these people's behaviors are. That should tell you, someone like me who has no problem over giving even at my own detriment, that should tell you. So I got this message. Thank you for never settling for less than what you deserve. Notification. Cheers to you. I hope they gave me a coupon. Hold on. What is this? Oh. The concealer is called Fuck, I'm Flawless. Is that the color? Okay. I think that's the color. I think that's my color. Okay. So the color of I don't have foundation on right now, but the color of my foundation and concealer are woke up like this. Fuck, I'm flawless. Love it. I might buy that just because. I don't know if I would wear it, but I might buy that just because. Woke up like this. Fuck, I'm flawless. Yes, boo. Talking to myself. Sometimes it's good to flirt with yourself and say nice things to yourself. Sometimes we need that. Okay. It's okay. It's okay for you to quietly do that in private. I forgot y'all were watching. So that's me flirting with myself. Yes, boo. Yes, you are. Okay. The winter's been upside down. I feel like this has to do with a person who's trying to find a way to approach you to kind of just reestablish balance. Reestablish balance with you. It's Il Maquillage, yes. Well, maybe they'll sponsor me. No, I don't have any sponsors. I don't use sponsors. Is that weird? I feel weird if someone wants to sponsor me. I'm like, no. Because then I have to say nice things. What if I don't like your product? I'm just saying. What if I don't like your product? Like, if I like a product, it has to be genuine. If I talk about something, it has to be genuine. Like, I have to have bought it, used it, love it, and now I want to tell you about it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like to do sponsorships. Oh, they've run out of creativity. They've run out of creativity, is what it is. The fertility. There's an issue with that logic. I'm not saying there's an issue with you. I'm saying there's an issue with that logic. Oh, Durango Botanicals, they didn't reach out to sponsor me. I reached out to them. I loved it so much. I was like, I need to reach out to them. So there's an issue with this logic. They see the compassion and gentleness, and they think it's an invitation to be a parasite in our lives. And they think we are weak and it's going to be an easy job. Okay. They think what we allow them to think. There's a huge issue with allowing yourself to have the type of logic that completely takes the power out of your hands and puts it into someone else's. People look at me and they see compassion and gentleness, but they also know you're not being invited into my life. There's no weakness here. Like, you're not being invited into my life. And I'm not going to be apologetic about it. I'm just not. I'm not going to be apologetic about it, like, at all. Nope. People used to think my compassion and gentleness was an invitation because it was then. The issue wasn't the people. The people doing this to me were a symptomatic presentation of my own internal toxicity towards myself. I gave passive permission for people to access me in this way. It was absolutely an invitation. And I cannot empower that type of mindset where you're there where I was, not realizing it's toxic. It's toxic. It's toxic to you, your growth, your perception of how powerful you actually are. Like, no, 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 no. And your other comment of motherfuckers and bitches don't know the difference between compassion and gentleness and the stupid weakness. Why are you hanging around people who don't know the difference? See, there's the issue there. That's the actual issue. Allowing yourself to continue to exist in environments where those are the acceptable behaviors is the issue. That's the issue. It's like, I'm going to move to an area that has a very strict um, policy on firearms, and I'm going to be pissed off about it because I believe in open and concealed carry. I believe in constitutional carry rights, meaning open and concealed without needing a license. And that's not right. And it's like, then why the fuck did you move to the neighborhood that has a ban on all firearms? You know what I mean? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. That's a very toxic spirituality when people think that, well, I'm high vibe. And if you're going to be here, you need to be high vibe too. Yeah. What if they say no? Well, no, I put that intent. So they have to. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't. If you no longer hang around them, why are you still angry? That's the real question. If you don't hang around them anymore, why are you still angry? Are you angry at them, or are you angry at yourself for allowing yourself to have hung around people like that? And if you're angry at them, are you angry because they betrayed you by being who they are? So if that's the actuality of it, aren't you an empath? How come you didn't know who they are, how they are? Again, empaths become empaths because earlier in life, usually it's earlier in life, sometimes it's later in life, you go through something really traumatic and it develops a hypervigilance, a hypersensitivity, leading to a hypervigilance because you're afraid. And it's not a bad thing or a sign of weakness to be afraid. We just have to begin recognizing being an empath is not some sort of superpower and you're this gift and yada, yada, yada. No, it's a trauma response to life. It's a trauma response to life. So when I find myself still angry about things that happened in the past, I have to ask myself, why am I angry still? For me personally, I realized I never allowed myself the time and the space to process the grief that I felt because I kept focusing on surviving. But when I allow myself the time to process that grief, I realize they never betrayed me. I always knew who they were. I saw it. I knew it. I didn't want to believe it. And I allowed myself to force myself to stay there so that they could have a chance to prove me wrong. So, really, is the issue them or me in my journey? Every time I have a problem with someone, the issue is me. It's an issue within me that I'm projecting out. Now, does that mean I'm blaming myself? No. That means I'm entering into a place within my journey where I'm recognizing these issues are not issues. They're opportunities for me to learn about myself and the parts of me that need me. So long as you continue to focus on the external, the triggers, you won't realize what that trigger does. It launches bullets. Bullets laced with truth. Bullets that don't hit their mark unless you understand the process, the mechanics that you are initiating. Bullets that if you hesitate, if you don't hold that weaponry properly, it's very dangerous, very destructive, very, very dangerous. Have you ever seen a video of someone limp noodling a firearm? I mean, there's tons of videos of like, especially shotgun fails where I don't know why they're holding it that lightly, but then the kickback, the recoil of it, it hits them in the face, or, it's just like craziness. If you don't hold your truth with a proper level of reverence and respect, truth like bullets. It's dangerous shit to play with. It's not even to be played with. You don't just brandish truth. You have to use it with intent. And when you start playing like that and hanging around people who play like that too, you find yourself in a war zone with no one who knows what to do. Spring is upside down too. This is someone that's still obsessed with you. They're focused on you. You're a major component of what they need. I don't even think this is romantic. It's like they need to have whatever interaction with you. So that way, I don't know. I don't know. I think it has to do with developing their perception. Almost like some sort of spiritual development, arrested development. Huh. My hair is crazy today. Didn't help that I didn't brush it. Waited too long. And then it partially dried without being brushed. So it's just going to have to be... It looks like it's a lot of hair, huh? It's not. It's not. Don't worry. Pentacle. Respect. Circle of trust. They respect you. You're part of their circle of trust. That's what it is. They're trying to figure out how to get you back into the circle of trust and how to get into your circle of trust. It's a PiSCES Vesica. Ooh, that center point. That's a delicious center point. That sacred yoni is like a sacred yoni. That middle ground between their circle of trust and your circle of trust, and the space where the spheres collide. Merger point. Hold the phone. I knew it! Okay. Damn it, why did I pick up this deck? Stupid. Because I just wanted to know. I wanted to know what the message was about. All right. So the connectivity is coming to life. Okay. It's a power of attraction. It's coming to life. It's being awoken. Merger point that... Yeah. When the two spheres collide, that point of merger between the individuated consciousness, that's basically the infinity symbol, which is basically a number 8, which is basically two separate consciousness coming together. Excuse me. Let's see. I keep on falling in. Okay. Card number 47, soul separation. Yes, twin flame reading. What was separate will once be brought back together. I'm speaking in terms of consciousness. The spheres, colliding spheres, that PiSCES Vesica, that point of merger that creates the rebirth. Remember? The creativity has stopped. They don't know how to approach. Scrying mirror can help you to communicate with things. It can help you to do some like intuitive work. It can be used for precognitive vision, all sorts of different things. And it's almost like they're viewing you through that. but in shadow, hidden. But they can't conceal themselves much longer, remember? Because of the wonderful things she does. Concealment and containment, they just can't. They can't not. You know what I'm saying? They can't not. So, sorry. Card number 2, Warrior Spirit. So it's like this fight to correct whatever separation occurred. It's a fight for something. I don't know if they're fighting for you, fighting with you, but it's a fight. Could it mean like a dark twin? So my dark twin's not dead. So I'd like, Twinny, you're not dead. Oh my God, you're alive. Yeah, no, he messaged me too. That's crazy. He messaged me. I want to say the night of the 12/21. He doesn't watch any of my work either. I mean, he's not evil. He's a dark twin. He's a shadow twin. But he's not evil towards me. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Let me just stop. So, wow. That could be, well, okay. You would have to determine why you consider him evil. Because for you, he might be the one that's distorted, the one that's trying to access you in order to benefit from you. So, I mean, I don't know. Don't worry, you're protected. We're all protected. Don't worry about it. This warrior spirit, your metamorphosis, your metamorphosis is the very sword you use. People can't successfully like negate you if they don't know you. They just can't. They can't successfully hatch a plan to be hurtful and harmful if they don't know you. Shadow work. Oh, shoot. Shadow work. Remember? Shadow. So I'm wondering, for some, it might be that someone is doing some shadow work, meaning they're working on themselves, you know. And for others, that shadow work may be in reference to things that are hidden, things that are, taboo, things that might carry some type of maliciousness. Got to make sure. You got to keep them separated. Da, 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 da. You'll overcome it. Don't worry. Whatever it is, you will overcome. You will overcome. I shuffled this deck so much, but pretty much all of the cards from yesterday came out. The exact same cards, plus a couple more. You have to build yourself up. Build up your defenses. Build up your sense of self. Build up your perception. Build up, build up, build up. Remember, it's hard to come back and know how to handle you if you've changed, right? If you don't want them to have an upper hand on you because you're worried about their intent, first and foremost, I wouldn't. If I feel that way, then you can't be around me. There's no point in you being around me if I'm going to have to waste my time trying to be, ready for whatever it is you do. What? Did you guys ever notice how they were on fire? So these are flames. These are twin flames. I never noticed that. I've had this deck for some time now. Two flames. Someone's doing some shit. Someone's doing some shit. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Hold on. I'm wondering if it's two people doing some shit. I'm telling y'all. Do not involve me in the stuff. I swear to God. It's a steaming hot pot of jealous. A steaming hot pot of jealous. Someone's jealous. Someone's jealous, and either you've moved on from them and they don't want you to move on, or whoever they were with is moving on from them and they don't want that person to move on to you. I don't know. I'm really considering retaliation at this point. That's so much of a hassle, though. We'll see. My kids. We know what we'll see means. It means you don't want to, but you just don't want to say no. So we'll see. Betrayal. Someone feels betrayed. Are they actually betrayed, or is it their sense of like entitlement to another person not being honored? And so now they feel betrayed and now they're blaming someone. Y'all, it's such a toxic fucking mindset when you can't take accountability for the shit you create. Just because you want someone does not mean they belong with you. And when one day they wake up and no longer want to be with you, you have to just accept that. You just have to. My logic. If one day my husband woke up and told me he no longer wants to be married to me, okay? What happened? Like what happened? You want to be with someone else? I mean, is that your way of communicating with me that you're unhappy and you need me to make some adjustments that I wasn't aware of? Like, what is it? You just don't want to be with me? Okay. That's okay. I respect that. Okay. It's not going to be this thing of like, no, I can try harder. I can be what you want. No, like, okay, you don't, I get it. I get it. It's all right. It's all right. Did you want to still live together? What do you want to do? You know, like, we can still live together. We can still have the same bank accounts. Like, you know, we still have a family together. We can shift from a romantic relationship to a best friendship, unless you think I'm irritating. At which point, you know, it could just be a co-parenting thing. I'm not going to hurt myself by trying to hold on to someone who's just told me that whatever I am right now is not what they're looking for, is not enough, is too much, whatever it is. It's no longer aligned. It's no longer viable. He's not betraying me by outgrowing me. He's just not. It's not a betrayal. It's not a betrayal. Then people might be like, well, what if he cheated? Do you really want the answer to that? My perception is that if he cheated on me, it would be because he's been so unhappy with me that he sought happiness with someone else. Now, is that my fault? No, because he should have communicated that with me. Is there something I need to take accountability for there? Yes. I should have loved him and me enough to be able to see something was wrong and to find the courage to communicate, hey, what's wrong? That's my perception on it. You can tell when people change. You can feel that change. When you choose to ignore it, it doesn't mean they're not changing right in front of you. If you don't put in the effort and you allow the change to occur without communication, that sometimes will create a lot of really devastating circumstance. That'll create a lot of devastating circumstance for you. You can't live your life approaching that in your life with this thing of, no, they'd never. It's always a person that I say would never that does it first. I promise you guys that. It's always the person who says they'd never. It's that person that's always been the one to be hurtful and harmful to me. Every single time. When I find myself saying that about someone, that means I've begun questioning them. They don't feel right to me. They don't feel safe to me. And I don't want to believe it. So I'm going to tell myself they'd never. Yes, they would. Yes, they can. There's no such thing as they'd never. There's no such thing as they'd never. Everyone has capability to do something. Everyone. Everyone. Past life return. So either you're returning back to old coping mechanisms, old environments, old connections, or someone from your past is coming back. Past life or earlier life? I don't know. Past life or earlier life? I don't know what their intent is. Huh. They will punish a Pisces for outgrowing them, for our talents, for leveling up, for our essence, for being different. How am I supposed to deal with that shit, Emmy? Some of those people are family. Family to whom? Are they punishing a Pisces or are they punishing you? The issue here is the absolute type of mentality. If they do it to me, they're doing it to all Pisces. No, they're not. They're not. Stop putting yourself into a group. That's the problem. You said you're a lone wolf, but everything you say is about group stuff. A lone wolf has no family. They are a member of a species, of a region, but they have no family. So are you a lone wolf or are you not? They will punish a Pisces for outgrowing them, for our talents, for leveling up, for our essence, for being different. Are they punishing you for being different, or are you trying to force them to be more like you and they are being reactive to you? How am I supposed to deal with that? Well, my personal stance, I don't deal with that. You want to hold against me who I am? Get the fuck out of here then. Oh, but we're family. Yeah, maybe by genetics. That's it. We'll still be tied by genetics. And there's like no, there's, to me, that's a non-brainer. Like there's no questions of what I would do. I don't have to deal with anything I don't want to deal with. See, when we exist in a way where we want to exit out of the matrix, but we want to drag the matrix with us, that's nonsensical. That's nonsensical. When we exist with a mindset that we're a lone wolf, but the wolf pack needs to follow us, that's nonsensical. When you exist with one foot in one world and the other foot in the other, you will continue to have these issues. Are they issues or are they self-created struggles and challenges? Which one are they? How old are you? How old are you? We got to deal with this toxicity right here, right now. How old are you? What is your age? What's your age? It's a very simple question. See, that's the thing. You are still not taking accountability for the way you live your life. Do you actually want answers? Or are you focused more on being able to vent? There's difference. There's a difference. And if you're at a place where you still want to just vent, that's fine. But it's toxic. The venting is not toxic. The environment you're in within yourself is toxic. So you've known for 29 years how these people are. Yet you still continue to contact them. Who betrayed who? Who betrayed who? That's the reality of the world. If you've known these people for 29 years, I'm going to be very harsh right now, honey. Who the hell are you to demand they change after 29 years of being who they are? You know who you are. You know who they are. If it's not compatible, it's not compatible. Allow yourself to be as angry as you need to be for as long as you need to be. But so long as you remain there, you will not grow or heal from there. And I say this to you as someone who has gone through that same exact journey. And the elevation in my irritation is not because of you. It's because I see myself in you and how long it took me to give myself permission to stop my own bullshit. I irritate myself. I irritate myself. I'm triggered by seeing my reflection. Not because I'm still there, but because I see what I lived through. I'm triggered to return back to that place where that's how I existed. And you know how I changed it? I went away, found myself, rooted myself deeply in the truth of who I actually am, not the role that family tells me I have to play, but who I actually am, created my own family, both biologic as well as social. And then I came back as I am, and no one can tell me fucking anything different. You don't like me? That's your problem. That's it. Oh, you think I've changed? Absolutely, I've changed. Oh, you think, oh, I think that I'm better than you? No, you feel that. Thank you for recognizing the truth. Yes, I am better than you if I'm capable of change. Anything else? Family don't like it when you are very blunt like that. But here's a beautiful thing. With the exception of one sibling, all the others were like, well, shit, I'm gonna fucking change too. Yeah. All the other siblings were like, bitch, you're not the only one that's gonna have a beautiful, peaceful life. Scoot the fuck over. We're joining you on that. Fuck yeah, there's space. There's space. My family dynamic is so different now. There's still toxicity. There's always going to be some toxicity. But is it the type of toxicity that poisons everyone around them? No, not at all. I can genuinely say I have such an amazing, amazing relationship with my siblings, except the toxic one that refuses to change. Yep. And we have a standing rule. You have a party at your house and you invite him. I'll respect that. It's your house, it's your party. Me and my family will not be coming. Is it because I'm being petty? No, it's because he did things to endanger me and my children. I don't deserve to be around that. I will not be around that. Simple. Family trying to fix family, and come on, man, just let it go already, and this and that. Like, what if I blah, blah, blah. If you did to me, I'd cut you off too. You can't cut everyone off. Okay, here's the thing. If I ever did to you and your children what was done to me, I would hope for my nieces and nephews that you never let me around you and the children again, because you guys deserve peace. You deserve respect. And that's when the conversation was done. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. It's not about me being pissed. It's about me maintaining my peace and my safety. No one is allowed to take that from me ever again. Ever again. So if you're going to invite that family member, just don't let us know. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to be pissed. That's your house. That's your event. Send me pictures so I see everyone had fun. That's it. Yeah, I don't need to go. I'm not going to be like, oh, you're going to pick him over me. No, it's your event. It's none of my business. All I know is what I pick for me and my family. And that's it. And no one's going to change my mind on any of that. Here's the thing that I learned. After an entire lifetime of these types of cycles, people are who they are. And it's very asinine of me to think that I can come back as an empowered person and be like, no, I'm empowered now. High vibe only. I'm a powerful fucking Pisces goddess. And you're going to join me in my empowerment. No, some people are incapable. They're incapable. So if I've cut you out of my life before, and then I let you back into my life and you do the same fucking shit over again, you are out for fucking good. You're out for good. Not to punish you, because I'm finally being honest with myself at this point. I don't need that kind of shit in my life. We still family. We still biologically connected forever. But you will never have a place in my life again. I am now consciously creating and cultivating the space I live within. So if you don't have the courage to do that, your life's going to still be the same. Your life is still going to be the same. What you're really angry at is that you didn't give yourself permission to find the courage to be the change you're seeking. Your family is too weak and too afraid to change for you. unless you're willing to change your entire life yourself, they have no one to lead them out of that dark period. And I promise you, even if you are brave enough to do that, not everyone's going to follow you out. And you're going to have to be okay with that. But the logic of, you know, being angry and you didn't do anything and this and that, and yeah, you didn't ask to be treated that way. No one does. But when you allow access to you, you allow yourself to be treated that way. That's not victim shaming, because I don't see you as a victim. I see you as an unwilling co-creator for something that deeply hurts you. Honey, love yourself as much as I love you. I would never give someone permission to access you when they act that way. Fuck that shit. People used to be like, well, that's fine if you're mad at someone. Just at least let the kids see them, so that that toxic person has access to my children without me present to protect them? Fuck that and fuck you. Are you kidding me? No. If you can't be civil with me, you don't have to kiss my ass. Let me get that out there first. You don't have to kiss my ass. But if you cannot conduct yourself like a balanced adult in my presence while you interact with my children, I promise you, you will never have access to my children without me present. Because those type of people, they want to be around the children without you there so they can talk shit about you to the children. I'm totally the kind of person, you don't like me, that's fine. You want to play with the kids? They want to play with you? Okay. If you're healthy for the kids, okay. If you can keep your dislike of me between me and you, okay. My kids can still be around you. You don't want me around so you can talk shit about me to my kids? You don't want me around so you can ask my kids questions so that you have something to talk shit about me to other people? Fuck you. You're not going to be in our lives. You don't need our participation for that. Make up shit. You do it anyways. Just make up the shit. Make up the lies. Who cares? We're not listening. We're living our best life over here. We're peaceful. And that's the thing. People don't understand. Like, if you really want your peace, sometimes you're going to have to fight for it. Sometimes you're going to have to fight for it. People look at Shaolin monks as like, oh my God, the namaste with the orange like fabric people. Oh my God, they're so peaceful and they're so healthy and they're Buddhist. Oh my God, they follow the Tao. They are so heavily trained in weaponry and warfare from infancy. They are trained how to override human compulsion. They are trained how to overcome the human reaction to pain and emotion. Be a Shaolin monk. Learn how to override all that shit. That's it. Learn how to override it. Stop with the logic of, well, but I wasn't raised like that. No, be your own parent now. I wasn't raised like that either. I was raised to be passive and submissive. Fuck that shit. I'm not bowing down to you. I don't give a shit. You're mad? Good. I am too. Why did you think it would make any difference to me if you're mad? You're always mad. That's my logic. No, your lack of peace is not going to infect mine. My peace already exists. And if we have to fucking fight for you to understand you are not going to touch my peace, by all means, I'm ready. Why does no one in my family fuck with me anymore? Because they know all of this about me. Does that mean they don't talk shit when I'm not there? I'm sure they do. That's why I'm never there. Yeah, I'm never there. And we're still relatives. We're still related. Does that mean I'm hateful? No. I just feel like it's drama and I don't fucking need it in my life. Is that me saying they're bad people? No. I have relatives who are actually like really fucking funny when they talk shit. Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. But because of existing family dynamics, yeah, I don't really like to be around it. I just don't. Because then it's only a matter of time before the joking becomes just this catty ass shit. And I just, yeah. That's why I don't talk during family gatherings when I used to go. I don't talk. That's why they get along with me because I don't talk. I just, oh, oh shit. Whoa. Oh my. Yeah. But I'm sure when I'm not there, they still talk shit about me too. Family's going to be who they are. They've shown you your entire life who they are. No one's going to change that unless they choose to change themselves. The only thing you can control is what you choose to be, how you choose to be, how you choose to live, what environment you choose to exist in. How powerful is that? You're basically your own living God. You're playing your own sim character. How can we do that for video games, yet we don't want to do that for our own lives? When you get it, you get it. And when you walk, no guilt. It's a journey. And it's not even like, oh, I'm walking away from you. It's, I'm going to be walking now. If you'd like to join me, you can join me. If not, fare thee well. Yeah. And that's it. I don't walk away to punish people. I walk away because I'm done with that shit. And if you want to stay in that shit, by all means. By all means. But I'm not staying there. If you want to rejoin me in a place that's more balanced, beautiful. If not, it's good knowing you. Not really, but I'll be nice. We have to begin being so empowered that we know when our emotions can help us and when the emotions don't need to be involved, and we need to just make logical decisions that will maintain our peace and be okay with it. And I don't want to tell anyone how to live, but I can't allow you, MEJ, to continue to exist as a fractured, shadow infused reflection of a part of me in my life where I hurt so badly. And obviously, I can't force you to change or see things differently, but I can speak openly, and hopefully, you will take in what I say, consider it, and see how you're going to choose to alter some of the details of your life, because only you have the power to do that. Only you have the power to make the decisions that will lead to the changes that you clearly want for yourself. I've learned so much over the past couple of years. Not everyone who calls me family will love me like family. And not everyone who calls me family will treat me the way family has treated me before, in such a negative, toxic way. Allowing people to show me who they are before I allow them to stay permanently in my life has been the most powerful and most scary thing I've ever done for myself. At this point in my journey, there are maybe a handful of people or less that I know. I take one look at them and I know, excuse me, you're going to be in my life forever. How do I know this? Because I'll fight for you. Everyone else, I'll let them walk away. I won't say a word. I'll fight to understand. I'll fight to create balance. I won't fight to force you to stay, but I'll fight for you. I won't fight anyone for you. No. That's like going back to the example of, if one day my husband woke up and was like, I don't want to be married anymore. If that's his opening line, because he doesn't know how to say, like, I need you to work harder to help me make this work. If that's what he's trying to communicate, I'll fight for that. If he's just making a statement, then that's that. You've made your decision. I'll respect that decision. Oh, Kathy, you know you are. Oh, Kathy, damn hell you are. You know you are. You definitely know you are. Yeah. Yes. I made that choice to let go of all the toxicity, and the freedom within was beautiful. I didn't realize how much space I was giving away of myself. Yeah. We don't realize things until we make the choices to make the changes. And they're scary. They're scary. These were very scary things that I had to go through. I'll show you. Hold on. To find the courage. This was a picture of me in the process of finding myself. I had to let everything and everyone go to find who I actually am. I had to be left with this feeling of I have nothing. And it totally destroyed me. That's me at 90 something pounds. You see my legs? I have sweatpants on under my jeans. My legs are actually much smaller than that. They were literally just bones. Yeah. That size to give you gravity of how much this ate me up, ate me alive. I could fit a 6-year-old shirt, shorts. That was my size. Yeah. Yeah. Walking away from family absolutely destroyed me. It destroyed me. Do I look healthy there? My ankles were the same size as my calves, which were the same size as my thighs. Yeah, I don't have kinkles. I'm wearing like 3 or 4 pairs of socks. Because I was always cold. Because my body had zero insulation. It was worth it. It was worth it to go through everything that I went through to find myself. It was worth it. It was worth it. That painful process of deconstructing the person that I knew myself to be in order to be able to rebuild myself into the person I actually am. It was so worth it. It was worth it. Would I do it again? Well, would I be learning as much as I learned? Or would I be learning something new? Mm, as long as the learning is as profound as the last time, I would. I'd 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 let myself hurt like that again. Not to punish me, but to allow for the deconstruction, knowing that pain is part of the process of spiritual deconstruction. Spiritual deconstruction is a huge indication you are being prepared for ascension, the process of ascension. Yes, yes, absolutely. See, people think that you can build yourself. All your components are already with you. If you've used your components irresponsibly, what I mean by irresponsibly is instead of using it to build, you used it to create walls to protect yourself and hide behind. Those walls are going to have to come down, and you're going to have to use those components as part of your rebuilding. You can't use those components as part of your rebuilding yourself until you first deconstruct. So, yes, deconstruction. That's all it is. And just like having to gut out a house before you can remodel it, oh my God, it's a pain in the ass, is it not? It's painful. It's painful to have to tear things out, but is it worth it? Yeah, absolutely. It's worth it. Why wouldn't it be? You get so much out of that. If you can give so much of yourself to other people and hurt for other people, why can't you do it for you? One of my most effective ways to regulate myself when I'm acting a fool, aka overgiving and making excuses for people and their bullshit. Um, I ask myself, would I let someone do that to a child? Talk to a child that way? Treat a child that way? Would I let someone do that to a child? No? Then you sure as fuck am not doing it to me. You're not doing it to me. You're just not. You're not doing it to me. No more of that mindset where, well, it's okay. Like if an attacker came, I wouldn't even fight them. It's okay. But if they like went after my family, I'd fight them. No, I am my family. I'm going to fight you no matter what. I'm going to fight. I'm not going to sacrifice myself. It's not a selfish thing to fight for yourself because you know what I learned? However, I allow my children to see people treat me, I'm teaching them that's what they deserve. No, son, you're not going to learn to bow to oppressors. You have a rightful place as a king of humanity. Go sit on your throne and watch a queen put motherfuckers in their place. Don't ever let people treat you Hi, guys. Can you hear and see me now? Hold on. Hold the phone. Can you guys see me now? I got a little too carried away with my emotions. Let me find the live stream to see. You can now? Okay. So, allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to get to a point where your healing is not contingent on someone else giving you permission to go through the process. Allow yourself to awaken that spine. People talk about, sorry, Daddy, I hope I didn't mess up the Wi-Fi. My bad. I got really pissed off. I'm trying to self-regulate. People, they think about how, Pisceans, they want to be a shark, they want to be a great white. They don't have a backbone. They don't. You want to be like a titan in the water. I'd say go for something like a orca. Those are dickish. Orca are crazy. They look cute, but I think they're very you know, they're crazy. They're savage. They have a backbone. They have a spine. Wake up your spine. Do you wake up your spine just to stand? They're like, oh, you need to find your spine. What, just so you can stand up to people? I'll tell you a more powerful thing you can do with your spine. Use it to walk away. Use your spine to walk away with your head held high. I would say that's the most powerful way to use your spine. That would probably be the best reason to have a spine. To use that spine to walk away with your head held high, chin up in defiance. And that's that. There's going to be interference in your journey, okay? There's, for some, going to be someone toxic with dark intentions. For another, it's going to be someone who does not have dark intentions. They have maybe a darker energy, not dark intentions. They're more shadowy because they're staying hidden because they don't know how you'll receive them. That's fine. Galactic heritage. Tap into all those other lives that you've lived. You've lived so many. All of us have. Remember, I was saying in a different live stream that I've documented, I think over 8,000 people documented just in the past 4 years, right? My entire lifetime is a shit ton more than that. In the 4 years that are not documented that I worked with, a shit ton more than that. Okay. Those are just what's logged into my website. Now, I want to say I met one person who only lived 2 lives. I've never met a single person who's never lived a single life before. That this is their very first time. Yeah. Never. So we said someone wanted to fight for you, right? Fight you or fight for you. That sucks. Why can't people just stop fighting? Alrighty. So, Gemini, I think no one is free, even the birds are chained to the sky. Communication is key. So, again, it goes back to this feeling that someone's trying to communicate, wanting to communicate. So, what's most important to a Gemini is an exchange of ideas and communication. However, they like to discuss ideas but tend to be poor listeners. Geminis are fascinated by their own thoughts rather than the ideas of others. As Geminis are curious about everything, they tend to be experts on a number of different topics. They also love stories and gossip. I love you. I love you. That's all I got to say is I love you. I love you. Looks like we made it. Look how far we come, my baby. I'm glad we didn't listen. Look at what we would be missing. They said, I bet they'll never make it, but just look at you talking shit. You never stop with the talking shit. Still talking shit. He is a Gemini. I'm joking. He doesn't always talk shit. Okay, those intelligent minds should always be fed, whether they with gossip or the most erudite or philosophical pursuits. They like both. They usually have a small computer on their person to access social media and play games. Y'all want to play Words with Friends? This twin sign is one of the smartest in the entire zodiac. However, Geminis tend to be insecure in their views, so change their opinion. You may find yourself involved with new forms of technology that help spread your ideas to a wider audience. Daddy, I'm going to need you to work on that today. Thank you. Writing may also figure in, such as writing a blog, writing books, or just being involved with publishing. You may find yourself either to be a skilled diplomat or asked to teach or give a speech. At the current time, you may find yourself to be highly strung, nervous, or excitable, as in the nature of Gemini, but still able to figure it all out with a probing mind. It may feel as if you are riding a high wind with lofty energy. Okay. Gemini is also the sign of soulmates. Hey. Hey. Okay, it's corresponding to the Lover's card in the tarot. So this card can indicate an important romantic relationship has started or will figure in shortly. But the bottom line with the Gemini card is this: words are important now, so use them wisely. Words will be imperative regarding the outcome of this reading. So someone needs to communicate. Someone needs to communicate. Y'all are giving me some walnut action on my forehead. Okay. Y'all are not doing that. I am doing that to myself. Getting far too involved. Far too involved. Just far too involved. Okay, solar eclipse, revolution. This card spells out change. Revolution is actually something that starts in individual hearts. Major transformations are about to happen. When it comes to eclipses, something has to die for better things to be born. We must focus on what is directly in front of us. You can expect swift changes that end one chapter and start a new one. You may have felt something would eventually happen, not having recently paid much attention to the situation. Then you're presented with a shock or a jolt, and you're reeling over the sudden change. This upheaval takes away what has been familiar and safe, so you can embark on new territories or even venture to a strange new terrain. But it will be daunting. Okay? These events may seem like negatives at first. A divorce, the end to a relationship, being forced to move, or even losing your job, they tend to affect relationships foremost, however, and so you may soon see stressors and upsetting changes in the relational supports you have counted on. This card implies you're being forced to make a decision and to act on it. There will be no stepping away from it. You got to make a decision, you just make a decision. I don't know what your decision needs to be. You do, though. You know what you need to decide. If you change your mind, I'm in the first in line. I'm still free. Take a chance on me. Don't take a chance on me. Okay. Yeah, finish that. Next is Mars. So you're going to have to fight for something. You're going to have to use some force, some aggression, some good old-fashioned aggression. Be aggressive in your approach. No. I'm fucking around. I was talking to Frey. Sorry. I got number 5, Mars force. War does not determine who is right, only who is left. This card suggests there's something you may have to fight for. Okay. This card also means to push back in terms of defense. When Mars is strong in the chart or a reading, you may either face aggressive situations with a need to confront or defend, or an intense, arousing encounter. Mars indicates overwhelming attractions, your power of attraction right there. Right. Wait, what? Oh, there. Hold on, guys. I confused myself. What card are you talking about, sir? Here. That's what you mean. You're attracting to yourself knowledge of what's been hidden. Okay? Knowledge of what's been hidden. Ooh. Sorry. Oh, Marlene. Marlene says 3 intentionally betrayed. There were 3 who intentionally betrayed you. And you're coming to the realization that these 3 intentionally betrayed you. 3. 3. 3. Three. Uh-oh. Things about to get crazy. This is a time when you feel not only forced but driven. It's a good time to reconsider. It's a good time to consider goals and desires and not allow them to fall into the shadows. Right now, action is needed. It's not a good time to sit back and wait. If you're going to sit back and wait, you're going to miss the window of opportunity. There's a window of opportunity. If you miss that, then that's it. You can't be like, oh no, but wait, no. There was a window of opportunity that you were guided to utilize, and you dragged your feet. Don't pass this up. Seriously. When this card presents itself, you're being challenged to protect your interests or move ahead quickly on something. Ooh. Oh, shit. The Mars card indicates a type of passion and drive that's linked to the spirit of life and force. In ancient British magic, this type of energy was a cunning fire that enabled men and women to act like gods and goddesses, to create and defend, to build energy, to seek and claim, to force and pursue, thus to change fate. I feel really cold. Do you guys feel that? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is concerning. This is very concerning. So this can be used to like, it can be used in a good way. It can be used in a bad way. How is it going to be used? This card infers that a fire has been lit under the passions, and it's time to achieve what you want in life. Excuse me, you're being shown a clear path. Seeing. Oh, shit. The feeling that I get is this. There is something. I wonder if you're walking away from someone or something or some sort of situation, but there is something that is holding this over your head. What I mean by that is there's an asset or something, opportunity, a tangible good, something that they have an equal claim to, right? They don't really want it, but they're just using it to hold you. Now is not the time for discussion of negotiations. Now is the time to rightfully claim what's yours. Don't just insist, demand. Now is a time for you to claim what is rightfully yours. Oh, I did those two. It's these two that I didn't do. Okay. Has to do with partners. Okay. 7th house, partners. Marriage is neither heaven nor hell. It's simply purgatory. By Abraham Lincoln. Abe. No, let me stop. Bindings, whether emotional and domestic or lawful and what is right or permissible, are indicated now. See what I'm saying? Binding you. This detail, asset, tangible good, opportunity, whatever it is, it's what they are using to bind you to them. The 7th house is the area of the chart that represents the other, since it's opposed to the 1st house of the self. The other is opposed to you. They're not supportive of what you actually need. They're opposing it. But they're doing it in such a way that's so emotionally manipulative. You think they're amicably agreeing. They're not. They're biding their time. They're not amicably agreeing to anything. This is one of the most bitch-ass behavior. I hate this shit. I hate when people tell me what I want to hear just because they think I want to hear it. But they don't agree with it. They don't actually agree with it. They don't actually value me. Answer me this, you guys. Answer me this. Can you truly respect and value my work, but then tell me that my work is wrong? That I don't know what I'm talking about, but only for certain aspects of my work. But you really see like how powerful and potent and like profound my work is. Do you really value my work? Or do you only value it if it doesn't pertain to you in a way that you don't want? Help me make sense of that. Help me understand how to approach that. Because to me, that's just bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, Catherine, if I were to tell you, because I know you've told me before that you value my work, you know, If I were to tell you that you have a parasitic issue, would you be like, no, you're wrong? Would you tell me that that's the only thing that I'm wrong on? Right. So it's kind of like opposing you in that way, where they value you unless it doesn't add to their value, unless it doesn't increase their equity, right? And I mean, yeah, like Catherine, if I tell you there's a parasitic thing, because it's a serious parasitic thing, and that I've had so many people who they're like, I have something parasitic. I'm like, no, you're just fucking tripping right now. You're just going through some shit. You're stressed out. You don't have anything parasitic. No one's doing anything to you. You're just going through a process. You're like, no, you don't need an extraction. So it's this thing of, do people actually understand the value of you, or do they see the marketability? Yes. They only value you if it's to their benefit. And if that's how the person is, why are they in your life? Because they're of no benefit to you. I mean, mirrors, right? Mirrors matching that energy. Ooh. Their true intentions seep through the cracks. For example, when you are speaking about your work, they are agreeable, but quick to change the subject. Mm-hmm. As long as your work is something that interests, as long as your stance is something that increases something for them, oh my God, super duper supportive. But the moment it calls something out they don't want to hear, quick to change the subject on how you did something, how you're the issue, how you blah, 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 blah. People like that don't need to be in your life. Trying to bind you to them through situations, opportunities. Sometimes it has to do with children, like if you have kids together. Sometimes it has to do with assets, like investments. Do people still invest in with each other? I mean, I don't know. I don't work with anyone. It's always just me and my husband. So I'm kind of like, what's mine is his, what's his is mine, you know? Like, what is going, is this hair? Is there a hair? What is going on? You know what I mean? So I don't really know how the world works in that way, but it's like something was invested in, almost like equal partnership, but not really. Maybe that was the premise at the start. You know what I mean? Maybe that was the concept. It feels like this is something that I'm wondering if at one point it was mutually beneficial. And then, so is this like a relationship, like a romantic relationship? And maybe you guys bought a house together and it was mutually beneficial. And then now that you're splitting up, it's like, well, no, it's my house. Like, I don't know. It's an ugly feeling though. When this card presents itself in a reading, it usually means one of two things: either issues dealing with partners or significant others, or court cases and legal issues. It feels like something that involves all of it. The card itself is neutral and it strives for balance. The Pisces, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, the Neptune card is next. It would imply that a relationship could be slowly dissolving or fading, much like a shoreline with a sea erasing names written in the sand. Oh, shit. Nature itself is taking its course. It's naturally eroding. It's been in the process of eroding. Wow, that's poetically devastating. So I'm being shown how maybe this relationship that's in question is like the shoreline and coming in from the sea. You're coming out of the sea from the depths. The shore is beautiful, right? The sand. But then you're slowly coming to this realization that the sand is unstable. That instability causes you to look at the cliffs differently. The cliffs are not afraid to lose their parts. They still continue to exist. Even if a portion of it falls, it will still forever be the cliff. It's not afraid of when that ocean slams against it. It can withstand that. It can serve a purpose of elevating. And so now it's like all of a sudden, you coming out of the ocean sees the sand for what it is. Little broken pieces from different cliffs that have just kind of come together over a long period of time. You see that whoever this is, and that's the feeling, whoever this is for someone, they pale in comparison to this other person who serves as a cliff. I love Pescadero. If you ever find yourself in California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, go to Highway 1, find Pescadero. Ooh. Queen of Hearts. Time to do some legalities. Okay. Misinformation or lying could be a part of it. If the card is referring to a court case or legal issue, it's not a good time for that. The end result may not be what is hoped for, or is one that might drag on. Again, ending over time in a dissolving way with no real closure. Okay. On a mundane level, the seventh house card can mean an engagement, a marriage, or a relationship moving to a next level, as in a partnership, becoming more settled and gaining maturity. It can also imply getting ready for a more serious relationship. In the case of dysfunctional or unhealthy relationships, you can look at surrounding cards to see if they will fare in the near future. They're not going to fare. Oh, shit. Marriage, partners, true love, the other person, rivals, open enemies, courts, and lawsuits. That's crazy. I'm getting so cold. It's ridiculous. The whole idea of compassion is based on a keen awareness of the interdependence of all these living beings, which are all part of living beings, which are all part of one another and all involved in one another. You're being directed into an area which may feel like it's an unknowable. Surrendering to the mystery may work best now. This card represents escapism. Dreams, film, art, disappointment, and reverie all fall under the rulership of Neptune. Refusing to look at what's real or simply being unable to, as well as seeing enemies as friends and vice versa, are all traits brought on by this watery planet. This is a time where some may try to manipulate with their crisis and rescue cycles, exhausting friends and family with their many problems. There may be a lack of boundaries and confusion where some may orchestrate their victimhood. Be very certain that the victim is not you. Neptune is a place of beauty that which is ethereal and not so easily reached. Neptune is inspired Neptune is inspired visions coupled with nebulous thinking. Neptune represents glamour, the word glamour coming from the French word grimoire, and connected to the word grammar, meaning to create magic or cast a spell. This card indicates poetry, music, art, and psychic mediumship, but nebulous thinking. When it shows in a reading, any words spoken or promises given are either poetry from the gods and higher realms or words which may be lies. For some of you, whoever you're dealing with, they're really getting over on you. This is a hard thing. I don't know that I should be involved in that. So Marlene says something. Someone is talking to get legal advice that will put you at a disadvantage. Someone is in closed door conversations getting advice that will put them at an advantage over you. This is not being handled in an amicable way. It's just being presented as though it's amicable. It's not. It's not. This is not amicable at all. Oh, shit. Okay. More positively, these may be messages from spirits or the tapping in your own higher awareness. It will be difficult to get to the bottom of the issue. You may see smoke and mirrors, find yourself engulfed in nefarious mist with blame cast on the wrong person or reason. Excuse me. With this card, you want to be absolutely clear and out front with everything. Neptune is a planet of sacrifice, so you may be asked to sacrifice something, usually related to ego, for some greater good. Neptune represents our link to the all and governs the last sign of the zodiac. Pisces is connected to everything past, present, and future. It shows where we are vulnerable and where we may want to escape to. These are opposites in all higher things. Lovers can become reverie can become drunkenness, and dreams turn into nightmares. Neptune represents self-destructiveness and self-sabotage. Don't sabotage yourself. Don't sabotage yourself, okay? So when it comes to legalities, one of the most effective things is the element of surprise. The element of surprise, of not knowing, not having time to prepare, not having time to conceal. Someone's hiding something. Someone's hiding something and they're having closed door conversations. They're having closed door conversations of how to minimize your claim to what's rightfully yours. This is messy. With this card, you want to be absolutely clear and out front with everything. It's a planet of sacrifice, so you may have to sacrifice something. You may be caught in a situation which is unclear. The reasons behind it may not make sense or are being withheld from you. Another manifestation of this card is that you may find difficulties getting on the right path or in clarifying a direction. On the other hand, you may be extremely tuned in at the present time, sensing emotions, having visions. And if this is the case, what is below the surface is now being brought out. So you already know. You already know and you don't want to believe it. So if you're going to lie to yourself about what you already know, you're going to screw yourself worse than you've ever screwed yourself in your entire life. If you listen, not to me, but to your intuition, you might be able to salvage something in regards to you retrieving what's rightfully yours. You might be able to completely correct. Be careful of trickery and playing emotional games. If a beautiful person enters your life, test the relationship. He or she may be too good to be true. Yeah. This planet also represents sleight of hand tricks, yet also a supernal type of creativity. You cannot be a poet or a mystic without the rays of Neptune influencing you. It's like falling off the edge of our universe into places we trust but have no concrete idea about. Oh, she says, that's sweet, but kind of not. Reading, it's like falling off the edge of our universe into places we trust but have no concrete idea about. She says, that's you. You're that place of trust where I can hold you in a space where you feel secure, but you know nothing about why you feel secure with me. Beware of deception and confusion, but at least there will be poetry or reverie. So the oh, Marlene. Oh no. Okay, one final thing from Marlene. You're like Thai level of spice. She's Thai spicy right now. There are other people involved, and although you may think that they love you just as much as the other person, they don't. They love you because of the other person. They would turn on you for the other person. Don't get that twisted. They don't actually love you. And if it comes to choosing between you or the other person, I promise you their loyalty is with the other person first and foremost, always. There's a lot of people getting involved in whatever this is. There's a lot of involvement. You know, you got yourself into this situation because so many people were involved to begin with. You got to lay the fucking smack down at some point. Okay, just lay the fucking smack down. Jesus Christ. You can't do everything in an amicable way. Not everything can be done amicably. It's nice if you can, but not everything will play out in an amicable way. Marlene goes, get mad. She's telling me to get mad and speak. No, I'm not mad because that's not my situation. Okay. But I'm just saying not everything can be dealt with in an amicable manner. Sometimes you have to fight for what's rightfully yours. And if you're not going to fight for it, then be prepared to lose it. That's just, be prepared to lose it. If you're willing to lose it, okay, no biggie. Keep doing what you're doing. And, you know, do what you do. That's okay. It's not for me to be like, no, you can't this and you can't that. So there was this thing that my mom had gotten into where she made some investment decisions and yada, yada, yada. And there were other people involved. And long story short, one of the investors passed away. And then there was an issue with the wife. of the investor. And then my mother's sisters got involved and they didn't even invest anything. And so, my mother at the time was like, well, they know what's right and they know what's wrong. And we just have to pray. We have to pray, and they're going to do the right thing because it's the right thing and they know what's right and they know what's wrong. Sometimes when you're dealing with certain types of people, they don't give a shit what they know about right and wrong. All they give a shit about is what they can gain and what they will lose. Okay? Please learn from her mistake. Because that was a massive mistake, not taking proactive action. I'm not saying fight. I'm saying be proactive and handle things in the proper manner. Okay? If you're talking about large investments, legalities have to be involved. I'm not talking about sue people. I'm talking about you both need to have legal representation and have this presented in a legal manner, discussions, civilized discussions of how both will be able to preserve their legal claim. If it's a large investment, then that's what needs to happen. Okay? That's what needs to happen. Being able to understand that when you have copious amounts of money involved in things, integrity tends to go down the shitter for most people. And if you're willing to lose your claim because you don't want to deal with it, that's okay. I can totally understand that. But if you think you're not going to deal with it and not have any, action that you have to take because you're going to count on someone to be honest, and there are hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of dollars at stake, that's not going to happen, honey. It's not going to happen. Because I promise you, until all parties involved are forced to remember to remain in integrity, most people will take whatever they can get away with. Now, I don't know who this message is for. Okay. People are going to do what they're going to do. Like I said, this does not necessarily mean you're being encouraged to have a full-on lawsuit and yada, yada, yada. You need to begin consulting with someone who actually knows the laws, the legalities for your state, considering the situation that you're in. Because what Marlene is saying is that that's already being done behind your back. I heard her say, protect the assets. That's the logic. That's who you're dealing with. It's no longer like this thing of, we both agreed. And no, behind closed doors, they are making moves to protect their assets. That's enough, Marlene. Let's just pull a final card. All right. I don't want to read the card. I gotta go, guys. I'm sorry. That was so abrupt. I'm sorry. I just realized I'm about to cross the threshold of hungry to a place of not so good. I gotta go. I need to go eat. Yeah. I'm sorry. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join me when I'm live. Don't forget, every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be doing my Soul Sanctuary podcast. In addition to that, please go back to the Soul Sanctuary video here on this channel. And if you could please comment any questions you have that you want me to cover in next week's pod. We'll see. I'll pick someone, and that's who the topic will be about, or what the topic will be about. Okay. So if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about, any suggestions, even sharing whatever your situation is, because we go through so many similar situations with other people, please do that on that video, okay? The Soul Sanctuary video. And that way I'll be able to pick something for next week. All right, guys. I love you from the deepest depths of my heart's oceans. I'll see you again very soon. Bye, everyone.